Stealth bombers are the future of air warfare, and the race to dominate the skies is heating up. The US has its B-21 Raider, China is developing the H-20, and now Russia wants in with its PAK Da Poslannik A, so-called sixth-generation stealth bomber. But here's the big question. Is the PAK Da a revolutionary aircraft, or is it just another Russian military fantasy? Russia claims this bomber will be stealthier, deadlier, and smarter than anything it has ever built. With a 7,500-mile range, nuclear strike capability, AI-assisted targeting, and even potential drone coordination, it sounds impressive on paper. But here's the catch. Russia has a history of overpromising and under-delivering when it comes to military aviation. The Su-57 stealth fighter took decades to materialize, and the Su-75 Checkmate is still mostly a PowerPoint presentation. With sanctions, outdated tech, and endless delays, the PAK Da may face a similar fate. So, what's the real deal? Can Russia actually produce a cutting-edge stealth bomber? Or is this all just political propaganda? Let's break it down. So what exactly is Russia promising with the PAK Da? According to official reports, this bomber will feature a flying wing stealth design, similar to the American B-2 Spirit and the upcoming B-21 Raider. The shape is intended to reduce radar detection, making it harder to track and intercept. But stealth is just one part of the equation. Russia claims the PAK Da will be a true multi-role bomber, carrying 30 tons of nuclear and conventional weapons, including hypersonic missiles, guided bombs, and electronic warfare payloads. That's a massive payload, giving it the potential to strike strategic targets across continents. Another key feature? AI-assisted operations. Russia has hinted at integrating autonomous systems, which could help with target recognition, electronic warfare, and even drone coordination. Some reports suggest a loyal wingman system, where the PAK Da could fly alongside unmanned combat drones, increasing its stealth, survivability, and strike range. The bomber is also expected to have a 7,500-mile range, meaning it could reach the United States, Western Europe, and major NATO command centers without needing mid-air refueling. That makes it a serious strategic asset, at least in theory. It's also rumored to have advanced laser defense technology, potentially giving it the ability to disrupt enemy radar and incoming missiles. If true, this would be a game changer. But here's where things start to fall apart. For all these high-tech promises, Russia hasn't actually shown a working prototype. All we have are design concepts and artist renderings. And given Russia's economic struggles, sanctions, and outdated production capabilities, how much of this technology will actually make it into a functional aircraft? Let's talk about the biggest hurdles standing in the way of the PAK Da. The PAK Da sounds amazing on paper, but let's talk about the real problems standing in its way. First, sanctions. Since Russia's invasion of Ukraine, the West has severely restricted Russia's access to high-tech components, including microchips, avionics, and advanced composite materials, all critical for building a stealth bomber. Unlike the US and China, which have a robust aerospace industry, Russia relies on imported tech, especially for stealth coatings, radar-absorbent materials, and AI systems. Second, outdated technology. The last time Russia designed a strategic bomber from scratch was in the 1980s with the Tu-160. Even today, Russia still operates Tu-95 bombers, which first flew in 1952. While the PAK Da is meant to replace them, Russian engineers are struggling to develop true next-gen stealth technology. Third, development delays. The PAK Da was first proposed in the 1990s but kept getting delayed. Even now, Russia hasn't built a full-scale prototype. The first flight is scheduled for 2025, but realistically it won't happen anytime soon. If history is any guide, just look at the Su-57 stealth fighter, which took over 2 decades to enter service, and even now, Russia has only a handful of them. And finally, funding issues. Modern bombers are insanely expensive. The US is spending over $750 million per unit for the B-21 Raider. Russia, meanwhile, is spending billions on the Ukraine war, which has drained its defense budget. Can Russia afford to mass-produce a high-tech stealth bomber while its economy is struggling? Even if Russia somehow overcomes these obstacles, another challenge remains. Stealth technology itself is evolving. The US and China are already developing next-gen anti-stealth radar and drone swarms. By the time PAK DA is ready, it might already be outdated. These issues raise a big question: will the PAK DA ever become reality? Russia is entering the stealth bomber race, but how does the PKDA compare to its biggest rivals, the American B-21 Raider and China's H-20? Let's start with the B-21 Raider. This next-gen US bomber is designed to dominate future battlefields, featuring advanced stealth, AI integration, and long-range precision strike capabilities. The B-21 is built using high-tech materials, next-gen avionics, and a modular design, making it easier and cheaper to upgrade over time. The first B-21 has already been built, and the US plans to deploy over 100 units in the coming years. Then there's China's H-20. While still under development, intelligence reports suggest it will have intercontinental range, stealth capabilities, and nuclear strike ability, potentially giving China its first true strategic stealth bomber. If successful, it could challenge both the US and Russia in global power projection. Now, where does the PAK DA stand? On paper, it aims to match these bombers with a stealth flying wing design, AI-assisted operations, and hypersonic missile capabilities. But there's a problem. Russia is years behind in key technologies. Unlike the B-21, which is already in production, and the H-20, which is close to completion, Russia has no working PAK DA prototype. Given Russia's economic struggles and ongoing war efforts, mass-producing a bomber like this is a logistical nightmare. There's also the question of stealth effectiveness. The US and China are already working on next-gen anti-stealth radar, and by the time PAK DA is operational, it could already be detectable by modern air defense systems. So, can the PAK DA actually compete? The short answer: not anytime soon.